This is another 30 for 30, and we're getting closer.
And I'm older than 30.
Yes. Sadly, so am I. Although,
I
we
know.
look amazing.
Thank you.
We really do. I
Yes.
mean, you're gorgeous.
Thank you. So are you.
Anyway, okay. So this is my sister in Christ and a wonderful friend, Rochelle Sims, and she is the board president of the Foster Care and Adoptive Association here in Oklahoma. And it's just like the fact that I just said that name in itself, I'm like, I'm pretty prestigious because she's pretty prestigious, and I name drop all the time.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, oh yeah, I have a friend, and she works on the adoptive board here in Oklahoma,
president.
and she's the president. She's basically amazing.
Yeah.
So this is like fantastic because I am all about the foster care world and adoptive world and love to support them. And so I am definitely praying that this gets out and just touches a lot of people, maybe even ones that are like me that want to adopt, but God bless, my husband would not want to. And so, but there's other things that you can do even if you can't completely open your home up to a child that is out there in need.
Yes.
There's so much you can do. So it's all you. What made you start? Because I think that that's really something I think people should know. It's like, what made you like dive in to foster care in general and adoptive?
You know, I actually get that question quite often, and I take it back to when I was 8, and my parents adopted a 10-year-old girl from our church, and then my whole life they just literally have taken people in after, and I'd come home, or I'd bring friends home, and they would stay, for the night, and they would, and so for me, it's grown into what it is, but it started as just a legacy that my parents started for me when I was a child, so.
And that grew until like adulthood, and then because you didn't start out as the board president.
No, I barely accept that title now. I said I was forced into it. I was loved into it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So basically, I'm a go-getter. I don't have. There's no like in between. I'm either here or here, and usually here. My kids will tell you I'm either like chill or like going crazy.
See why we're friends,
right? So basically, I started, and I was like, I knew I wanted to do some stuff. I mentored teen girls through the church. I work with our youth group and things like that. And then for some reason, God just blessed me with boys. And as my son's walking by right there, I just developed honestly into fostering teens, and then a passion for seeing all these teenagers out there that are aging out of the system with really no support system at all, and just other kids that are out there that just are looking for love and in the wrong way.
Right.
And as humans, we're human, so we take things personally. And honestly, working with counselors and teachers and being a part of a team, I've just immersed myself. I see a problem, I wanna fix it, right? Like you.
Yeah, that checks. I love it.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to her, there's always like something going on. There's always some event that she's kind of like spearheading up. And one of them that I really, really loved was, and this was last year, where just the shoes and the purchasing of like the bags for kids, because they're constantly having to take all of their stuff from one location to another location, and just the shoes, the shoe print, and the idea of like just walking a mile in their lives. And I thought that was just fantastic. I mean, you've changed the logo. That was like it's a huge deal.
And it's more of a so that goes back to actually it's actually a walk, a nationwide walk. It's called Walk a Mile, and it had fizzled out in Oklahoma. So we were trying, as my dryer is going off, so we were trying to help bring it back, and working with actually the Foster alumni ended up taking that on, and they're an organization for kids who have aged out or been in the system. So that was that's what started, and that's kind of what we've talked about, but then that actually spearheaded into a statewide conference / resource / just support event for foster families in 6 cities in 6 days.
Right.
Never been in other cities in Oklahoma. And it was great. And today, this year, we're going to do it one day. And then next year, again, we're going to work on doing it in 6 different cities or more on the same day. And just kind of, but now it went so well that it was kind of they didn't think we could do it till it went so well that now DHS is involved, and people are involved in bringing stuff back that they can see that we've proven that we can do things on a very low budget and affect a lot of people. Because I'm about volunteers. I'm not about getting paid to do stuff. I would like to be about getting paid to do stuff, but honestly, that's not my calling on my life. My calling is to give of myself and everything that I have. And I was telling, but I was like, I'm never going to be wealthy. As we sit in my large house.
It's bigger than mine. Mine fits in her house. It fits in here.
But that doesn't mean we got money in the bank.
But that's just, there's so much going on with foster care and adoptiveness. Like, what's something, maybe I want to ask this first, I'll ask this in a second. Okay. What are a lot of the challenges that you face, like on a day-to-day, on a week-to-week, and a month-to-month?
I always say I'm human, and that's the biggest challenge, I think, because we go in, we have expectations, and I'm very real. So even today, I'm griping at my children that are over here helping, and they are helpful, and they are amazing kids, but we weren't raised together. We've lived together for now 5 years, and we still have struggles because we're human, and we are different, just because I want them to do something a certain way doesn't mean they are, and I have to be okay with that most of the time. And one of the things when we did our interview with the news was, like I said, and I read it later, or watched it later, I was like, this is really good. Like, we have to be okay with letting chaos into our lives and do what love does. And so I go back and watch that, and I'm like reminding myself, because sometimes I'm the chaos. I'm the chaos that goes through, and they're supposed to be okay with it. So I should be able to be okay when they're the chaos in my life. And I think, I think when you're biologically related, you're like, well, I have to do this, right? This right. is, but God gave me my children just like God gave you,
Amen.
You yours. You know what I mean? So I just remembering that, and that, it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay for me not to be perfect. It's okay for them not to be perfect, because I do have I am a little control freakish, in certain areas.
Well, and here's the thing. I think that is something that, whether you're biologically related or not, it makes it more stressful, but I think that those challenges are there as well. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, my daughter, I was like, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with you sleeping in the bed with me right now. I can't do it. You're everywhere. You're jumping around. I need to go. And this morning she says to me, Mommy, you made me feel like you don't love me. And I thought, okay, whatever, Cletus. But at the same time, I was really appreciative that she told me how she felt.
Yeah.
And she felt like, even though I just removed myself from the situation, and I wanted her to understand, like, listen, if you want to sleep in here, you're going to have to follow some rules. And it still made her feel that way. I didn't cave, right? I didn't cave, but I did tell her, I love her, but she felt that abandonment. And so even when they're biologically yours, they still feel abandoned. And I think that it adds another layer of extra stress on it when they don't have that, because they're going to feel abandoned regardless.
And then we try not to live in guilt.
Right. Oh my gosh. I feel. You're like my hero as a mom. That it's just amazing to give yourself to so many children in general, right? Like, regardless of biological or not, having, there's like 5, how many are we at right now?
We don't know. It's different every week.
And then she brings in more, like, it's not always just the children that you've adopted, but more so, like, and the ones that you've had biologically, but also just being a mentor, being a mentor to other people that come in, and friends, families, and that's a lot. It's a lot.
And not just because my kids are in hearing distance, but I do want to give a shout out to my kids. And I do gripe at them. I do gripe at them quite often, but I also give them lots of accolades, because my kids, they get to decide too. Like when we were talking about taking another kid into our home, and they're like, yeah, and Gunner's like, I would give up my room that I have by myself and share with this person specifically. And so, and they're good, just like we had some twins this weekend. And, I just tell Jerry, I said, somebody needs us. You got to watch the twins overnight. They're 15 months old. And she's like, she don't complain. She may look at me crazy, but she does that anyway. Okay. You got to mind you. She does that anyway. So, 2 kids and I have lots of kids, but the ones that are teens that are currently adopted that I can talk about in my home in this very moment, or you know, we have struggles all the time, but they're amazing, and I just wish that's what I want people to know,
Right.
is that if you look past that and if you just focus on that, the amazingness of the children and the joy that they can bring to your lives, I think a lot more people
Would be willing.
yeah, yeah.
I think there's also that. What would you say to the parents who like feel that fear of like making their lives worse, right? Like,
Making the kids' lives worse or their own?
no, the kid's life worse.
Yeah.
Like I know
Oh.
for me that's a huge pressure, but I also know like, and I hate, my husband's probably gonna be like, stop talking about me, but I know that that's a concern of
Yeah.
his, right?
Yeah.
Is that, you know, he's not gonna be the parent that they need, right? And that he's gonna make them worse than the life that they already have. So who would you say? Well, not, but you know what I
No.
mean. Like they're not gonna be better. I'm not saying their life is worse, but just
I completely understand, because I tell people all the time, my first 5 months at fostering, I was at the altar every Sunday, every Wednesday, crying like, Lord, what did you call me to? Like, I'm horrible at this. I suck at this. I felt like I was making them worse, because I'm an outward processor. So if you're doing something I don't like, I'm gonna say it, right?
Yeah.
But then God gave me this confidence, and I love my kids truly hard, and I want more for them than they want for themselves. But I totally have that fear, but I think everybody has that fear, and I think it's okay. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a believer, so God wouldn't have brought them into my life and
If you weren't.
trusted me to take charge of them if He didn't trust the job that I was going to do. So I have to be confident in doing the job that He's called me to do, and I always say I'm perfectly okay in my imperfection. I'm perfectly okay to fail. Like, I'll tell them, like, I think more often recently, especially with Jarius, like, I'll be yelling at her because I'm mad or emotional, and then I'll ground her, and then I'll go back and be like, okay, that was not something that warranted that, so you aren't grounded, you know? And it's like, I have to swallow my pride and go back and correct, and I'm okay with that too.
that's awesome.
Yeah, as long as they don't hover it over my heads.
Right.
Well, remember that one time.
No.
So, yeah. Then I'll get really mad.
Like, you did what now?
Yeah. Gunnar would do that to me. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. If I said something to you and like apologize, you'd come hold it over me later and be like, well, that one time you were wrong.
The life of
Yeah.
a parent.
Yeah.
A parent.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so what other events, what upcoming events are going on right now that people could help with, or if they reach out to you because they want to participate and be a volunteer, or they want to donate, like how would they do that?
Yeah. So we have our yearly thing that we're working on right now. It's this year it's Be the Village, and it's at Harvest Church on August 25th, and it's out there by Frontier City. Church of the Harvest is amazing, and they provide childcare in the building for us.
Wow.
Because it's hard to do events when you don't provide childcare for families, because you're talking to a family will have up to 6 kids. And we're talking about fosters, because we have a hard time saying no, and that's the limit, right? And so that is a training / resource. People that are interested in fostering, there's going to be information for those people. People that are interested in adoption, there's going to be a thing showing the process on that. So we're like basically taking everything we did last year in those 6 days, taking the best of it and rolling it into one event where you don't have to go to classes if you don't want. You can just go and look at the resources. There's going to be all kinds of stuff there. And then for... another thing I'm really working on right now is I'm trying to get mentors at the Tulsa Boys Home. So a lot of these boys are up there. They're the ones that have moved around so many times, and they're up there. And it's only an hour and 45 minutes. I live in Moore. So I've committed to once a month. I go up there, I hang out. Also, I'm now approved to do unsupervised visits, so if I want to take them off campus and stuff. But these boys, my fear is they're going to age out and not really have any connections. And that's the biggest thing. So just mentors. So my goal is by the end of this year, have at least 10 more people that are willing to sign up to be a mentor, to go at least once a month, or even more, or just maybe even mentor a specific kid. I'm kind of mentoring whoever needs. I just go up there, and the kids, we go up there, the babies. Like this one boy, he was just holding Izzy the whole time. He just loved him, and they love our kids, and just getting that attention that they don't get in a home environment. And mind you, some kids don't function as well in a family type environment. So I'm not saying that every kid needs to be out of there, but every kid needs people that'll come and
Right,
love
that'll
them.
care.
Yeah, and there's some other things. We're going to for an advocacy day in May, which is Foster Awareness Month, at the Capitol. We have on the books with the new legislature to hopefully change, because it's just not here changing some legislature. We have some amazing people on our board that are very passionate and very knowledgeable. Catherine,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, say hey to Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
And yeah, so there's just always stuff, and I actually have my calendar for 2019 done. There's Zoo Day,
wow.
there's the Glow Party for the girls, there's the Frontier City Day we do for families. I'm trying to think what else. So
Hopefully they will all be in the events in there.
yeah,
You guys will be able to see them.
We'll approve it after our board meeting tomorrow. So I'm a planner, but yeah, I just really mentoring or even making a meal for a foster family. Just showing up and being okay. Before we ever fostered, we were one of the only people that would allow families, I guess, with a lot of kids come over to our house. There was a family that told us and they are not even a foster family, they're a blended family. They had 6 kids, 6 or 7, and they said when we had invited them over, they had gone to our church for like a year, nobody had invited them over, because people were like afraid of families with big kids, with a lot of kids. So it was crazy. And after that, like, they got involved and they did a lot of things, but I think people will realize, and so we used to be that family, and now we're the family with a lot of kids. So not getting invited anywhere. I'm kidding. At one point we had 11 people living in our home in this last year. 7 drivers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I don't even understand how she'll go from like one thing, boom, wrap it up. Next, boom, wrap it up. Next. And I'm like,
I get it from my mama.
Oh.
We're on a Facebook Live. You can talk. It's chill. What else?
I don't know. Oh, well, okay, so I ask everybody this question.
Yes, okay.
And it's really about your community, your neighborhood, and really speaking to individuals who might be looking to move to where you live.
Okay.
What is something that you love about the community, the neighborhood that you live in, or an event, or one thing that you just really enjoy that you'd like to share with them?
I've lived basically off Santa Fe my whole life. My parents actually built this house when I was 19. We bought it from them a year ago. The first house I bought was on Santa Fe. And I love more schools. I really love more schools. I've worked with some amazing teachers. So I don't really know any different, but I also know other people who've worked in this, and since I have a child that's adopted that also is in a special needs program. Working with that program at Southmore High School specifically, I had so many teachers and just staff amazing that I've made my life easier and honestly helped my child go from intellectual disabilities to no longer even qualifies for that. And if you ever work with that, you know how rare that is. And I know people in other school districts who have had to fight tooth and nail just to get help for their children that struggle in different areas. So I, shout out to Bobby Grumman, Kit Stevenson at Southmore, Rachel Labe, but just people, and I'm 50 million more because I email them all the time, and each kid has 6 teachers, right? So I have at least 32 at Southmore that,
Wow.
So, but they've been amazing.
Involved.
Yeah. More than a teacher, hiring my kids for jobs, mentoring them, transferring them into their classroom, the different kids, so they can keep an eye on them when they're struggling.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
That's why I support the walkout.
Yes, definitely support the walkout.
Yeah, so
We need to take care of our teachers. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're more than that.
They are, right? They're family.
Yes.
And they should be. And if you don't
They're
look
part
at
of
them
my
as
team.
family,
If it wasn't for
need
our
to.
teachers, there's no way I could help the kids that I help. It's
Right.
because of them.
Oh,
Yeah, they're my sanity. Oh, and people like the Royal Rangers, like Casey Bruce and those guys, like at our church, honestly, my village. That's why it's Be the Village is our, we are the village, because. So anyway, but yes, specifically more. My neighborhood doesn't have a lot of younger people, but I back up to a pond, and so it's really nice. I can have a lot of events here myself. So I'm like my own neighborhood.
true story.
Yeah, true story.
Is there anything else that you want to share or tell them how they can help, they could do, how to connect?
Oh yeah. So Really, we have Facebook. It's Foster Care Association, but it's more of a private group for foster families. But our website is actually fcao.org. It's simple. We have a yearly donor thing. It's $500, and it gets you on the back of a shirt, and is one of our sponsors. It's for corporations. It's a really good deal. This young, beautiful woman always sponsors us. But really, time. And I even asked that when I went to the Tulsa Boys Home. I was like, what do you guys need? Can I buy some of the boys back to school shoes? Or because we love buying Nikes for people, right? These really comfortable ones. Not like $200 shoes. I'm talking about like I get 2 for like $80, right? But they said we have all that. They said we just need people, and I think that's what we need in the foster system. We more homes or respite or just things. Yeah, more people that are willing to invest their time.
Okay. I'm working on it. She's already sending me.
I got it.
She's already. Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I love you, and I love what you do, and I know that people are going to start being a little bit more involved and get you some more people and just more help to because our children, I mean, they need this.
Yes.
Right? They need us. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe that in my heart, and you guys know that when I have a lot more money than I have right now.
Right. She's gonna give it to me.
It's a true story. Yeah.
Because I'm never gonna have any.
Yeah.
True story.
I'm like, here you go. Put it where it needs to be.
That's right.
Let's build a home and
Yeah.
help people and bring them in and have a secure and safe environment so that they can feel loved and not pressured. And life is already so hard. Mm-hmm. It's already so hard. And then when you don't have your parents, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
That people that are supposed to be involved that are not, for whatever reason, it just makes it harder, and it doesn't, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and God bless.